I'm Johnny Cash. I hear the train a-comin', it's rolling around a bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when.
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Tommy's Trains. Today we've got this Disney Pixar Toy Story 440 American Lionel LionChief set that we're going to go through. So stick around and we'll go through this. Hopefully it's something that you'll find enjoyable. And without further ado, let's get going. Once again, Lionel's done a great job here with the animation. You can see there's 4 accessory track packs that you can buy. There's like an industrial siding with an operating section that will uncouple the cars or dump a load or whatever the operating car is that you might have. There's a figure 8, an outer passing loop, and an inner passing loop. And you can also go online and find some different arrangements that you can configure your track to. Here's the LionChief remote. The train has a little Woody that you attach to the side, and I'll show you how to do that here in a second. This is a 440 early American like you would have seen in the Old West. There's a couple of the Lionel sets that has this, and they all escape me at the moment. I think the Frozen set has one as well, maybe the Disney Mickey or something, but there's pretty much 2 trains that are standard right now with the Lionel in introductory sets, the 440 American and the 080. Here's the tender, and here's again the LionChief remote, and we'll show you how to operate that. The locomotive is here. You want to make sure that you put fluid in here to run it, otherwise you'll burn the little smoke generator out. So make sure that you either turn the generator off, and you can do that in the LionChief remote as well, or put fluid in it. Here's some paperwork, the instructions, and the Lionel Collectors Club of America. Now we'll go down to the second layer here and see what we've got. So down here on this second level, we've got, the first car we've got is the Buzz Lightyear boxcar, and it has die-cast trucks, and the whole body's plastic. It has opening doors. They all have these arch bar trucks, which were the original old style trucks on the cars, and basically it was just a bunch of metal bolted together, and they were outlawed off the main lines by around 1940 or so because they caused derailments from lack of maintenance. Here's the operating car, and this runs off a little pinion gear underneath here. I'll show you. So it's animated, and they basically just go around in circles. And here's that pinion gear. So as the wheels turn, it turns a gear and then operates the little animation here as they go around in a circle. The caboose feels pretty heavy. It's a lit caboose. Again, the arch bar trucks has operating couplers. Looks like one of the Disney rides down there in the park. So down here we've got the Fastrack, and nothing too exciting. We've got 8 curved pieces. They're 036, so it makes a 3-foot diameter circle. You've got 4 straights. 2 of them are plain. One of them is the straight track that you plug the transformer into. Another one is an accessory activator track, and they say it's free, but obviously nothing is free. You've paid for that with the set. You would hook this into like one of your animated side things, like a house or something like that. You'd have to obviously buy the accessory, and then in the instructions it'll tell you what you need specifically. Squash is going to come help me out. His name is Squash because he got squished and had to go to the vet. So his name is Squash now. But he really likes trains, so he's going to come out here and watch. Here's the locomotive, and we're going to put Woody in. It basically is just the torso and head of Woody, and he sticks into the side like this. And the locomotive feels pretty heavy. Here's our smoke. And so you just have to pierce the top of it, just barely cut the top of it to allow a trickle. And you really only need about 4 or 5 drops to make that work. You've got a wood tender, and again the drawbar on this is plastic with like a little telephone coupler on it, and it's pretty much the weakest link in the chain as far as this train is concerned, because if you break that little coupler, then you've lost all of your sounds. So it's a point of failure, and these trains used to be great for little kids, but now I would hesitate to let someone less than 7 or 8 play with this train. Here's the controller, and you can see it goes forward and reverse, and by pushing the voice button here, there's a microphone, and that will introduce the sounds. Now if you hold down the little microphone button here in the middle, it's also a tab. So by holding that down, you can turn the volume of the unit up or down. So by turning it to the left, facing you to the left, you'll see that that is down, and then turning it to the right will raise the voice. So you can turn the sound off pretty much from the controller, or turn it back on, or change the volume, whatever. So again, we have the buzz car, and with the Fastrack, it does sound a little loud, and you can mitigate that by putting the whole train on a foam board, like a styrofoam insulation. You can buy those at any store like Home Depot or Lowe's or something. And with the coupler, you can just push down the little tab, and then it latches in. Pretty easy to pull. So I'm just going to bring the train over here, make it a little bit more easy to put the caboose on. So you'll notice here that the smoke unit, the chuffing, is synchronized. Alright, now I promised you I'd show you how to use the LionChief app, and you just download it, and you have to basically turn off the remote, and then you turn the remote back on, and then it'll show you the locomotive. You hit the little chain link there to link it up, and here you can see that you can adjust the pitch of the bell and also the whistle, which is pretty neat, so that you can change it from your locomotive. So that you say you have 3 or 4 locomotives, you can make them all different. And here on the right is the throttle. Up on the top right there, it looks like a little man on the moon. It's orange. If you tap that, that'll bring you into another display. Here's your horn, your whistle, bell. Here's the locomotion. So what this does is it makes a more realistic response. You can see the little blue taking a while to get to speed, so it makes it a little bit more realistic, and I really like that part. There's electro couplers, but those are not used in this train.
This town ain't big enough for the 2 of us.
Here's a closer look at the animated car, and you can see them chasing each other around the load there. And that's pretty common in some of the old train sets. I know the Ballyhoo brothers had one, Jesse James, the Lone Ranger. A lot of the train sets in the past have had that little animated car, and it's pretty fun. It's a heavy car too, so I like that. as I promised, here's another look at the LionChief, and again, there's the locomotion. But what I want to show you is the voice commands. So you just can say help, and it brings you to another menu.
Help commands.
And then you can say any of these commands here. And we'll just take a second and go through these and take a look at them. What's neat is if you, like, say you're coming into a station, you can just say station approach or intersection. Here you go. Grade crossing, station departure, station arrival. So I think it's a pretty neat little set, and one thing I wish that Lionel would do, they used to do this in a lot of cases, that you could just buy the locomotive and tender and maybe the caboose or something instead of buying the whole set, because what if you already have a LionChief set? You don't want to buy all this other stuff that you don't need, and yet more track and stuff is always great. But my one thing I wish they would do is just sell the locomotive, or just, you know, the cars individually, or the train without the track, or anything to make that set a little bit more inexpensive. So overall, I think it's a great set. I think it's fun. I think it's got room for some improvements. Typical of most of the Lionel sets that they've got now, there's add-ons. You know, the Polar Express has a whole bunch of add-ons, and this set also has some add-on cars. So I think I'd recommend it if you get it on like a Black Friday deal or on sale or something, but it's a little pricey to go buy another train set if you don't need one. It's a good starter set. So I think that set, maybe with some extra track packs, and then you're still going to want another locomotive because there's no front coupler on that, so it's really limited in what you can do with that train. You can really only pull forward. You can't do any switching with it unless you got a turntable or a giant layout with a Y. So it's a great train if you're just going to have it under the Christmas tree maybe and just run it by itself, or in addition to another train set. But for a serious collector or someone who wants to, you know, get into the world of modern railroading, there are better sets. So I appreciate you watching, and stick around. I've got a lot more trains to show you. Take care.